Hey everybody, Jeremy here from Flatware Creations. Today I am working on a order and figured I would set up YouTube and say hi to everybody. So if you haven't yet, please like, share, subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, I have a ton. And if you have special requests, I'm always happy to make special videos. So today I'm going to be making some dogs, some cats, a few elephants, and let's see, bracelets are done, possibly a couple floating hearts, but let's go ahead and get started. I gotta look past the camera now. And we're back. So I have a new camera today, that one. Let me type something here. See if that works. There we go. Hello everybody. So right now I'm working on some cats and some dogs. So I've already traced them out. Got some little puppies here, just random puppies. A couple of cats. They wanted 3 of each, so I've got this one cut. And we'll do all the finish work on them after we get them all cut. So there's that guy. I've got one cat done, so I'm working on the other cats. Actually, I'll start back on the dogs. Let me know if the audio is okay. I was having trouble earlier with the mic picking up, so I switched my mics. So let me know if you guys can hear me. If you hop on, say hi. I will keep looking up at the chat and answer any questions I can and say hi. You guys missed it. I broke 3 blades already. 3 on one dog and one cat. It happens. Actually, we're going to go to this camera. If that helps at all. Not really. Okay. So this is one of the blades I already broke. I had to shorten it down my saw frame here. And I've got it set to where it seems to only be catching my voice and not all the stuff around me. See if I can make this to where you guys can see it better. Hi Patricia. Can you hear me okay? Oh, good. I was trying out a new setting to try and cancel out some of the background noise. So when I'm cutting out the dogs and cats, I'm just doing a rough cut. I try and stick to my line, but once we start smoothing everything out, we can adjust angles and things like that. Almost broke another blade. So this person just wanted 3 random dog breeds. So I got one that looks like a Chihuahua-ish. I think I got the snout too long, but definitely looks like a dog. I broke this blade, so now it's like super short. Yes, I do have a bunch of rings, and I picked up some new sterling rings, or new sterling pieces yesterday. Let's see. So not too many rings right now. I have hundreds ready to go. This would probably be the best for that. So these guys here in the middle, these are all sterling. And then I've only got a couple of the silver plated ones. Only one fork ring left. And these have semicolons. But I picked up will the microphone let me go? Took out my trash can. Actually, I might be better with this one. focus. There we go. So this one here says Columbia Exhibition. And these are all sterling. So the flowers will wrap around it. The whole thing will be a ring. I have 2 of those. Another pretty flower one. So this one here would be a nice spiral ring or regular. Another pretty flower ring. I think this one has a monogram. It looks like a D. The sterling rings are, how much are the sterling rings? 45. You want a flower, one of these guys? This one has something written in the bowl. Elise? I'm not sure. Yeah? Do you know what size you want it? Was that just really loud? 8.5. Let's see what I could do. It's hiding on me. There it is. Hi, Kay. From Yuba City. I was born in Marysville. All right. So let's take and anneal this guy real quick. Oh, there's my torch. Actually, it'd be better. We'll do it up here. Yeah, Yuba City, California. I lived there until I was 15, 16. I'll just anneal this guy real quick. You knew me when I was little. What does K stand for? Put this in the pickle. There. Got my mic back on. Hi, Miss Shirley. Thank you very much. All right, now let's switch over here and that was a size 8.5. Just flipped around. These little sterling pieces are always scary, especially when they have really thin parts. Hi, Beardev. How are you? I am always having fun bending metal. Thank you. It took me a long time to get the shop set up. It's still not quite there. Let's see if we can get this. I don't trust the new one. So you said 8.5. Well, there's 8.5 right there. Just a touch smaller. Now that I got the camera up here. Hi, Devil and Dove. Depending on the ring, yes, but this is its first bend, so I think I'm still good for a little bit. The hard part, which camera am I at? I'm on you. The hard part is where the flowers are really thin. Those are the scary parts. So that bumped it up to a 9. So we're going to take it down just a little bit more. These tiny ones always scare me. That puts us 8.5. Yeah. Even with the silver plate, those spots are just dangerous. So we got 8.5. Try and see if I can keep up with everything. Switch over. Nope. To here. So now I've got it nice and round. I have good cameras and I have bad cameras. This is my good camera. I gotta get a couple more of these, but nice and round. And then once it goes through the tumbler, it'll be all nice. Let's see. Double check it. Yep, right at 8.5. So I'll get this in the tumbler for you. Let's see. Hi, Lori's Bella. Yeah, I've been up and down and all around. So Patricia, if you want to get a hold of me on my Facebook, you can go Jeremy ELSaid or Flatware Creations with 2 S's, and you can message me there and we'll get this all taken care of for you. I will get it put in my to-go pile. I get that in the tumbler tonight. All right. It is really pretty. Let's see. That one. There we go. All right. Where was I? Oh yeah. We're making cats and dogs. So I'll show you guys again. Three cameras. There we go. There's a little kitty. So I got one cut out already. And we'll take these guys and clean them all up. But let me get this back down here. Wrong way. There we go. I couldn't find my block earlier. Here's one of the puppies I did already. So we'll go through and we'll clean these guys up and get all of the little cut marks out of there. And then these guys will get a loop soldered onto the back for a necklace, and we'll trim down the legs. And we're also going to take and kind of sweep the legs backwards a little bit. You know, most dogs kind of have their back legs out a little bit, so we'll sweep those out after. But once we get through cutting these guys, we'll work on all that stuff. I broke 3 blades already. I have one more 3/0, So this one I took down and shortened up my frame a little bit. I have a lot of patience for things, and the other day I actually rage quit. I forget what I was cutting out, but I broke 9 blades like within half an hour. It was like, okay, I'm done for today. I called my daughter and told her I rage quit something. She laughed. Yeah. On the plus side, I have to buy new blades now. So I'm going to switch them up from these cheap eBay things. I'm probably going to go with nanos. Check those out. And I have 2 of these blocks that I made, and I can't find either one of them. So I had to make this one today out of a 2x2. She asked for 3 generic dogs, but I should have put a pit bull in there. I thought I had a chihuahua, but the nose is definitely too long on that one for a chihuahua. Ouch. Hi, Patricia. Make sure I open that. Don't lose it. One second, everybody. Do. Trying to figure things out here. My brain's not working. I'm sorry, everybody. I wish my brain could do more than one thing at once. All right, let's see if I can break another blade here. Oh, I'm so glad. So the cats I draw by hand. I draw each one. I use kind of templates for the dogs that I've already made. But for the most part, the cats are each individual. And the dogs end up being that way too. But I kind of cheat a little bit with the dogs. And I'll do a cat next. So you can kind of see how I do the tails. All right. It's so weird with this thing being so short. I probably spent 4 hours yesterday setting up to go live today. Because I haven't been on in a long time. I've been working on my 3D printed rings. That was close. We're almost there, Blade. Hold on. You can do it. You can do it. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. That is hilarious. On my computer screen, Pepe Tools Nano Blades just came up as an ad. I think they're listening. Oof, that was close. Come on. You got this. If this is your first time finding me, please subscribe. Make sure you click the bell to get new notifications whenever I go live. Lately what I've been doing is outsourcing my my videos. So I have somebody editing down my live streams because it takes forever. All right, there's our second puppy. All right, so we're gonna do a cat next. Let's do this guy. So I run the tails way up here, and we'll drill a hole in here, and that's where the jump ring will go. So the cat hangs. Still got teeth left. I'm gonna keep going. So another trick that I have used in the past is I've taken my bandsaw and I've cut down into here to try and cut off all this cutting here, and then cut down to there. So once I get around to there, it just pops out. and then I just clean up the edges. So little ways to go, or a little bit faster. Otherwise, you can just handsaw it. When the first cat I made, I actually used my hacksaw. That was a little challenging. And after this first cut here, so that's my first cut, I would make my second cut with my bandsaw right here, or hacksaw, just to cut most of that off. And then once that's out of there, then you can just go back on this side with the saw blade. Come on, you're gonna break. Break right here. Easy. It's the same angle, I promise. Come on. There we go. I'm kind of pulling it backwards on the saw to try and get it to make that corner. Hi, Monica. I'll be here for a few hours, so you're not quite late. I'm making cats and dogs for an order. And then I have some elephants to make. I think there's 3 floating hearts. So this is going to be a little bit tricky right here. I got to turn that corner. But because I don't have the full length of the blade, I gotta get it on the other side of the fork here. So I just switched the sides that this is on. So now I can start going back. It's gonna break. Come on, don't break. Come on. See if it'll give us enough of a bite to get turned. There we go. We got it, everybody. Woohoo! Pink. So what I'm using to lubricate my blade is beeswax. And I'm using a 3/0 blade right now. See how far, okay. I'm gonna try and get everything I can out of this little blade. All right, so now I'm gonna start at the tail and work my way back. I could have just clipped this off, that might have been easier. I think it will do that. It'll be easier. My handy dandy bolt cutters. Back to where we were. See if we can get a turn made here. Come on, little blade, you could do it. If it starts to pinch and you see me lift it up, I'm just trying to get the tension off of the blade. This is definitely the longest part, is cutting them out. If I'm just doing it without trying to talk or look at the chat. It takes me about half an hour to get one cat completely finished. So I always like to do them in batches. If I get tired of cutting them out, I can just start finishing on the others. Ouch. Let's see. I got a new bird feeder today in the mail, and it has a camera. Oh, he left. Darn. It has a camera and it will live stream all the birds, and it gives you notifications whenever the birds go into it. It just had a really pretty cardinal. One more turn. Kind of cool. Okay, let's try not to break this blade. Sorry, my ADD. I like how I can play with the shape on the tails. I can make them poofy or kind of change their shape like their backs. Some of the forks, I think it's the salad forks that have the little piece, the split in the middle. I make the cat's back really arch up really high. Let's see, I got one more cat and one more dog. think I'm going to be done cutting for a little bit. So we'll start finishing up some of these guys. Thank you, Patricia. The blade just disintegrated. There's one. All right. Last blade. Need to put it in the right way though. I had it in the right way. I'm adjusting out my frame now. We're at full length again, and I'm going to start from the tail. The nice part about the end of the tail here is you can just make a straight cut in because you can round it off with your sander or your file. Just want to make sure that the tip of it is big enough to get a drill bit in there. I have cut them too small and had to flatten it out with a hammer. That will work too. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. So now that I have the computer and everything hooked back up, I'll be on more often. Let's see if we can get these guys to match up. Oh, we're close. Just a tiny piece of metal in there. We'll see how far it is. Come on. No big notch. I think we got it. All right. Forget about that guy for a little bit. That's a lot. Okay, now we're going to switch over to a Dremel here. Make sure I didn't mess up my mic. So we've got 2 dogs and 2 cats done. And you're left with these little templates for the cats, and the same thing for the dogs. Let me switch this off. So you got the dog, and then you got the cat. Put those over there. Okay. So on the cats, I do like to give most of them stripes. Little whiskers. And then give them a couple stripes on the tail. And we're going to end up cutting off about in there. Normally I'll do this. That'll leave me a nice straight line. Yep, nice straight line on the back. So now I'm going to go ahead and take my little nail drill here. I just had to get a new handpiece for it. So this handpiece uses 3/32 size bits. They are smaller than the regular Dremel size bits. I do have links for the next one of these I get. I've actually had this little guy. Let's see if I can not give you guys motion sickness here. This is what I have right now. Is forward, reverse, and then I can control the level it goes to. Came with this, I just super glued it to the top. Okay, good. It's not picking that up. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm using the glare of the light to be able to see my grooves. I'm just trying to get out those saw blade marks. You don't have to push real hard. If you push too hard, normally you're going to get little craters that you make. You can also use a file to do this. I'm just using a little needle end here. So the tumbler's going to get some of this smoothed out, but I really like to get the majority of the lines out. I just kind of work my way around. For this side, you definitely want to make sure that you have enough of your tip past the front and you're not working your way back, because just one little tiny slip and you'll scratch up the front. So whenever you're going from the front side, just make sure you get quite a bit of the tip over. And then another thing, if you go straight on like this, you can create an indentation, but if you turn the bit like this, you're able to get those saw blades out better without making a divot in there. So just turning your blade a little, or turning your bit a little bit, will keep you from digging holes. You can refocus now. Thank you. And these diamond bits are in the description also. And I'm going to work from the front side, and then I'm also going to work from the back side. Just make sure I get all of the edges. And we're also going to take off the little burrs. This is normally where you're going to scratch the front. It'll be right in there. And I don't know how to do this to keep you guys in the frame here. The nice part about coming from the back side is you could see some of the angle changes. So you can see some of the marks that you couldn't see earlier. Again, we're going to take off the burrs. All right. Let's switch over to our disc. Got a little bit left on there. This is a 120 grit. Just trying to soften the ears. I use this to kind of run it through the edge to deeper it further. Alright. So here's where we are. That's the center, dude. Focus. Okay, so now we're going to put in our stripes. I'm going to switch over to a ball bit. It's one of these little guys. Still have that. Yep. I'm actually going to stamp this guy's face on right now. It is silver plate. I've made them out of sterling, but the price of sterling, when I was doing shows, people didn't want to spend the price for sterling, so I did that. Only special orders. All right. So I have a tiny flathead screwdriver bit. First I'm going to put in his eyes. This is just a little punch that I made and I keep sharpening. Get his little tiny nose in there. Going with my bigger hammer. And I'm just making these deep enough to be able to capture the ink. All right, let's see if we got that. Just using a Sharpie to fill the holes. And you can take alcohol. We'll get this off there real easy. Or you can just take it in a buffer. All right, let's give him a little mouth. I did have a bit. Is it up here? I don't see that one. So we'll put it in with our ball bit here. I shake a lot, so I always make sure that I'm really braced for this. Flying kitty. The cat just doesn't want to cooperate. Smiley kitty. All right, now we'll get the rest of our grooves in there. So I'm going to keep this bit. It's just a squared off bit. put our punch in here for our hole. And then the hole I'm going to drill in here is a 3. Where's my mouse? Where'd it go? It's the 5/64. This guy. Okay, so we're going to put on our sanding drum again so we can take off the flashing. So we got that little piece of flashing there we need to get off. Just barely touching it. There we go. Let's go ahead and marker this guy up. No sharp edges. So I'm just going to use this guy here. It is the red rouge. Kitty cat. Now let's shorten up his legs a little bit. Oh, I lost my lines. If you have flat nose pliers, makes it easy to take these off. The nice part about this is what you're left over with is 2 pairs of fork tine earrings. Let's move that. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this over here. Yeah, this is going to be easier. One second. Do, 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 do. Okay. Get my brain put back on here. All right. Whew. It has been a long day. So whenever you guys are working, what do you guys like to listen to for music? Okay. One second, almost there. And one more. Sorry about that. Here we go. So what's on here is you have a couple of burrs from, it's kind of pinched down. So I like to go straight into it like this, and then also take it right here, and then we'll finish it up with the Dremel. Nice glossy bottoms. We'll put our drum back on. Um, hmm. Sorry, guys. Um, um, we'll take our edges here. So what I'm doing now is I'm just taking the edges or corners, just rounding those off. Once you get those on the inside, then you can go across like this. Give them little boots, little shoes. Takes all those hard edges off of there and blends them in. No more sharp edges. Oh, I got a sharp edge back here. There we go. The other step that I do with these is, let's see if I can get you over here to my mess. All right, so I use this guy here. I got these from Harbor Freight. And I'll just run these just along the edges to make them a little bit cleaner and to take off any extra. Be careful because they will take off the plate like really fast. Poof. Nice little kitty, ready for the tumbler. So put that in my tumbler box. Where's my baggies? I can't find my little bags. I take the pork tines and I always separate them. I used to put them just in a bin, And then I spent 5 or 6 hours sorting them. Yeah. I put them in bags now. Alright, we got a puppy here. Where'd it go? There it is. Let's start with this guy here. I'm going to zoom you guys back in. That's out. So, like I said before, we're going to sweep this guy's legs back. We want to do that first. So it's just a chunk of leather that I have. So I'm putting him in to where the vise is right up to where the tines meet. And you can use a tine bender, pliers, where my tools go.
Did you guys take them?
All right, glasses. If I go like this, okay, you guys can see that. So I'm gonna take the back legs. So this is a pair of square nose pliers. I want it lower than that. Let's see if these will work. These are a little round nose set. There we go. So I'm putting the bottom down towards the bottom edge. And I just want to sweep it back a little bit. Trying to make sure I don't break them. These aren't big enough. I don't see my little screwdriver thingy. There you go, just use an empty knife handle. We'll get this guy flattened out. Sorry about that. All right, so we've got them swept back now. Normally I have my little hollow screwdriver thing, time bender. It makes that really quick. All right, so we're basically going to do the same thing all over again. Besides the leg sweep, that was the big part. You want to make sure that you have a bit. It's coming loose on me. Okay. So besides sweeping the leg, everything else is the same as the cat's. You want to make sure that you have a bit that will go into here. It just makes it nice and easy. Otherwise you're going to end up trying to fit one in there, and you'll end up changing the shape of the face or the muzzle. So you can go like that and get a nice clean edge in the back. And I'll probably start, I'll start with that one. It's hard to get the glare and still have you guys kind of see what I'm doing here. Pretty. This one was nice and easy. There was like some wax or something on the bit. So I ordered a new stamp because for some reason my stamp decided it wanted to leave. So I always put a birthday on these guys. No sharp edges. Oh. Normally well, you should before that we get to this point. We want to put in the nose and the eye. And the nose is kind of tricky because the metal is going to expand out. So because the nose is going to expand out, you don't want to get the point too close to it. So give yourself a little bit of room there. And just kind of start small. And then I'm going to just make that bigger. You know, I'm checking it against the glare. It's not getting it. You don't have to do this for the eye, but I like to go through and use my drill, or my drill press, and drill the eye out a little bit. So I'm going to take off the end of his nose right here. I just like to make the eye just a little bit bigger. Just gonna make the nose a little bigger. There we go. right, now we'll go ahead and oop. So you guys having a fun night? All right, so sketchy part again. Taking down the ears. Taking off any burr edges. Just be real careful here. Get that sharp edge off of there. Something you can do with the dog's tails too. I do this especially with the pugs. Is you can actually take and bend the tail over a little bit. So if you want to you get that tail to curl over a little bit further. All right, so let's get this guy's legs done. So I'm trying to get proportional here. Make sure he looks straight to me. And I always try and keep the part I want to keep on this, my side that I'm holding. Cute little puppy, got a little stance going on. All right, I'm gonna get his feet done real quick. Okay, no hard edges. We'll swap over to here. Oh, I didn't put his birthday on here. Maybe I should practice this first because I haven't done any cats or dogs in quite a while. What month is this? June. All right. Oh, I gotta get those pieces there too. So. Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, I put them over. There we go. So hopefully my stamp will be here in the next couple of days, and I'll give him a little stamp up there. So it's their birthdays, birth months. So the dog, we still have one more step. Actually, did I do that step before or after? No, because I have to torch it. So I have to do it now and then tumble it. And those are not in here. Alright, so I'm going to take off my mic. I will be right back. I'll mute you guys. I'll be 1 second. I have to go into the old shop and grab the findings. Did you miss me? Okay. So here's what I have. Wrong one. Wrong one. Ouch! So these are glue-on findings for necklaces. So these just get glued on and then your chain goes through here. What I do with these is I cut them off. I cut off the hearts. Leaving just that piece. Grab my drum here. I just barely touch the base. I rolled over my t-shirt. So I'm just making a little rough spot here. And I'm going to take a tiny piece of flux core solder, lead-free. Yep, lead-free flux core, silver-bearing rosin core solder. I want to flatten this out. And we're just going to cut a small chip of this off. I know I didn't do that before. Magnet. All right, so what I've done is I put a magnet here. You can also use a third hand thing like this. We'll try that. And I try and hold it right at the very tip. And the heart part goes on the back side, or the downward side. Actually, I'm going to use this other one. I like the downforce that the magnet has. I've about killed this one. This pair of tweezers. Nope, not those. So what I'm looking at right now is I'm up above it, and I want this to be as high as I can get it without going above the ears and staying towards center. It's right about there. Okay, looks good to me. Let's see if I switch this to here. Sorry, I shake like crazy. It's not gonna zoom, or not zoom, but autofocus. Oops. All right, so let's solder this now. I'm gonna use my little guy here. So these pieces are soft, so they will melt if you heat them up too much, but we want that solder to flow. There we go. It's stuck. Let's see if it'll stay on there. Warm still. So right now I'm trying to pry it off. I've got good flow all the way around. And I don't think I have a chain in here. Nope, I don't, but by putting him in the middle like that, he'll hang down pretty much level. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me, Monica. I love my job too. Thank you. Let's see. All right, let's do something completely different. Actually, we're going to stay right about there. We'll switch this guy over to here. Yeah, so we're gonna make a whale tail, and am I in the wrong camera? Oh, this one. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten out the spoon. That's a long ways for me right now. Iraq. I have family somewhere in Saudi Arabia. It's kind of close. So we're going to flatten these out, and then we're going to draw our stencil pattern onto them. So flattening them out is pretty easy. Wrong camera. There we go. So this is a 1-ton arbor press from Harbor Freight. I don't know if Harbor Freight carries them anymore. The bending kit, the bar, all of these guys, and the forms, those are from Flatware. Their link is in the description also. So we've got these. Switch it back to here. Try to make it so you guys aren't getting camera sickness. All right, so we're roughly straight here. We're going to texture these. like this. With the scales, the scale look, people really like those and they sell really fast. Yes is next to us. Yeah, I thought it was. So I like my black fine point, ultra fine point Sharpie. The ink actually sticks, but at the same time it comes off really easy. So we'll do one of these a whale tail and one of a mermaid tail. So I'm lining the stencil up here, making sure the tips are the important part and it's centered. So we got our mermaid tail going. Now we'll do a whale tail. So these aren't quite exact for the size of this spoon. So what I try and do is get the stem in the middle, and I'm gonna get my points right here. So we can bring this all the way up and make it here. But a lot of times you don't have to cut off this top edge. And I'll run this just right down, still trying to keep that same angle. Bring that middle piece up just a little bit higher. Just want it to be equal across. So there's two ways that you can do this. I have got to sit down and start building my shelves for all my stuff. Okay, so you can hammer these down. You can hammer these down beforehand, or you can cut them out and then hammer them down. Because the metal stretches, I like to use ones that have handles on them already instead of the already cut off ones. It's just really hard. And as you bend this, or as you hit it, it's going to fold on you. So you're going to have to flip it over and hammer it back flat. If you cut it off first, you're going to get a lot more of the hard edges or pieces that are flattened out thin along the edge. Up here it's no problem, but on the inside it can get to be kind of a pain sometimes. So I'm going to hammer it out first and then we'll cut it out. And with these, you don't need to put the wood down on the back, because the back, it's going to have that hammered texture also. It's going to have the little hammer marks, but it polishes out pretty nice. For this, you're going to want a ball peen hammer. So the only thing that I've done to this bigger one was I took my rotary tool and I gave it just a little bit of a divot at the top. Just kind of edged it up. It's not to a point or anything. It was just something to make the tip a little finer and still have the weight of this with a point this size. On this one here, you can kind of see how I took and shaped it where the shiny parts are. And I believe the camera's just in the way. I believe this will kick it out. Please let me know if this is loud. Did it cancel most of that out or dull it down anyways? I'm going to do the whale tail first. And if you just imagine you're hitting straight down, and I'm just going to go across like fish scales. And what I'm also doing at the same time is I'm looking at the glare from the light to see if to see the divots. And I'm just rocking the hammer. I'm choked up on the hammer just enough to get it to I'm trying to get in the frame here. Just enough to get it to tap. Nope, it doesn't stick. This little bit here is just because I had wax on there. I was shaping the wax. It comes right off. So what I'm looking at now there we go. So right now I'm looking for those spots that have do I have anything to point with? So like this spot right here. Come on. Got it there for a second. You can kind of see that spot where there's no hammered. I'm looking for those spots just to make sure that it's all similar. So I'm looking for those spots that don't have something. And I'm just trying to break that connection of there we go. And if you want, you can toss some small ones in there. So I'm not trying to hammer this thing down. I'm just trying to get it to, I'm just hammering it just enough to get it to flatten out. So we didn't have to do the whole spoon bowl. which is nice. So let's grab the next one. I'm going to use a small one for this one. Have a good night, Lories. Thanks for joining me. All right. Figured I would mute myself just in case it was tapping. Just want to redraw this line. All right, so we're going to cut this guy out. Enjoyed so far. Gonna go watch replay, see the finished product. Good night. Good night, Miss Shirley. Thank you for joining me. Trying to see if I can get you guys a better angle here. All right. My back is about done, so I might have to go too. All right. I think we can get these two done. So this was the one I just added the ends to. These bone balls are so much easier to cut through than the dogs and cats. Woo! Almost broke a blade. Come on, there we go. So you can see the whale tail, but then if you flip it over, it still looks like a whale tail, and you don't have to cut out all that extra bit. And you can still tell that it was a spoon. So that little bit of extra taken out of the tops, you don't really have to do that for it to still be a whale tail. So we're gonna go ahead and knock off these edges, or the tips, and then we're gonna go down and smooth these out, just like we did the dogs. Alright, so that made quick work of that one. Now we want to make sure we have one to go down in the middle. All right, got the center done. I'm gonna put my drum back on, and I'm gonna knock off the edges. No sharp spots. There we go. No sharp spots. Just gonna put this through the buffer real quick. There we go. Now we got the tail. Now we'll use our punch. And we're gonna put a hole right about there. Same size bit as before. Actually, we're going to go just a little bit bigger bit. The same beeswax for this part. Thank you. We're going to take our drum and get this piece here back off of there, the flashing. So sometimes the flashing will go into the hole. But if you run a piece through, you can get that flashing right off of there. There, now the hole's completely open. So I drill the hole first. That way I know where to cut it and I don't accidentally get too close to it. So this will actually go in my ring box because we'll turn this into a ring. Actually, I can measure it out already. Actually, we'll just make it a spiral. So all I did was round out that edge, this edge that we just cut. Yeah, it's not gonna work. There we go. Where'd it go? Instant ring. All right, we'll come back down here. Gotta go in the tumbler. And nothing was wasted. Gotta finish this one. So I'm just gonna round off the tip, and this one will be done. Into the tumbler she goes. All right, one more piece. And then I think I'm gonna be done for the day. Let's see if you guys. So for this one, I am gonna cut that shape. Come on. And we're gonna refine this shape with the sander, with the Dremel bits. So for now, we're just following the lines. Oof. So my order's for 6 of these, or 6 of each. 6 whale tails and 6 mermaid tails. Come on. You really want to watch your fingers towards the end of those. So I got this end, doesn't have quite as much of a curve on it here, so we're just going to fix that over here at the sander. You can also use your Dremel tool to do this. So now we got a lot more even. Nice and smooth. I like these. You have a lot more room to work on than the dogs and the cats. So you can really get in there and get them really smooth. And we'll get the center. Switch this around one more time. We'll knock off our edges here. All right. So now we'll punch our hole. And if you're doing these in batches, I'll end up with like 15 or 20 of these in this stage, and then I'll go ahead and punch holes in all of them instead of doing them one at a time. That way you don't have to keep taking everything apart and doing all of this. Good night. Thank you so much for joining me. Or mermaid tail and a whale tail. And it looks like we got another ring here. For the spiral rings, I'll take and I'll just cut here. This is about where I normally do it. So that puts us 3.5 inches or so. So I've got it in here at a little bit of an angle, and I make sure I push it back to where I get the tip. So I'm hitting it mostly straight back. So I'm keeping the whole thing tight up against the rod. And as it turns, I can just turn with it. And you get to this point where no matter what you do, you can't get it any farther. And I do just one tap right here on this edge. That's it. Whoop. Floor is a long ways down. There we got a nice little ring. All right, let's get rid of that camera and go to this camera. Hi. If you guys haven't yet and you liked hanging out with me today and seeing all the cool stuff we can do with silverware, I have lots of other videos, and I always do special requests like that ring I did today. If there's anything specific you'd like to see, I can make videos for those. I've also done private individual videos for people to help them out through projects and things like that. So if you haven't yet, subscribe if you enjoyed my content. And let's see, what else is there? Everything is set up here in the shop now, so I will be on YouTube more. I promise. All right, I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you guys. That camera is right in the way. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right, have a good night. It didn't stop.